Okay, welcome everyone. I was just saying it's 9 p.m. my time. It's noon your time, I'm guessing. And I've been having some interesting internal dialogues and experiences with this whole thing called jet lag. So I am technically about 9 hours ahead, and 9 hours is pretty much a complete reversal of, one's regular schedules. So um yeah, so I'm trying to go to bed at, I don't know, midnight, 1 in the morning or something like that. And that's about like 3, 4 in the afternoon, my usual time. I can't really go to sleep at that point. So it's been an interesting internal dialogue around like, you know, the- just my attitude towards feeling tired or getting up the next day, and how much coffee do I drink or do I not drink? Anyway, there's it's a good reminder, this thing called mindfulness, which hopefully we're here to practice together today. And specifically, the thing I want to focus on today is this idea of like, what does it mean to practice something? And specifically, the term deliberate practice, because that's really what we're doing here. Is we get together on a regular basis at a certain time to do a very specific thing on a regular basis. And this guy's James Clear, wrote a great book, if you're a reader, called Atomic Habits, where he gets into the process and the neurology of what's called deliberate practice. So deliberate practice refers to a special type of practice that is purposeful and systematic. While regular practice might include mindless repetitions, deliberate practice requires focused attention and is conducted with the specific goal of improving performance. And so the key term here, I think, being we want to keep getting better at the thing that we're struggling with. And if mindfulness is difficult for us for a certain period of time, it just means we just need to pare back a little bit and say, okay, let me shorten my mindfulness practice so I can be successful at it, so that I can continuously expand how long I can actually have that experience of being mindful for, rather than trying to set some unrealistic goal and saying, okay, I'm going to start a meditation practice. I'm going to meditate for, an hour straight every day. It just doesn't work that way. And when we do that, this is what it looks like on a neurologic level. So this is a super slow-mo time lapse, zeroed in, yeah, time lapse photography of two neurons, so two brain cells, establishing a connection with each other. And that's in essence what we're doing by doing what we're here. This deliberate practice thing keeps stimulating certain experiences. And so I thought today, let's focus on that sort of full soup to nuts process of, you set an intention. In this case, I would say it would be, let's see if we can just be with what is. So the intention is just to, no matter how happy or joyful or upset or discombobulated I am, the intention is just to be with what's there. Let me keep coming back repetitively to that intention and saying, no matter how distracted I get or no matter how off kilter I feel, let me just keep coming back. Let me see if I can keep just refining my ability to be with whatever's there. And if it doesn't work, that's okay. I'm just going to reset right here, right now, and try it again. I'm going to do so over time. So that's the concentration piece. I'm going to see if I can just keep coming back to that space of just being with what is. Just try it again and again. And that way we just kind of keep breaking it down into smaller and smaller components. So yeah, I just made this very I'm trying to sort of make the complexity of it really simple. And let's see if for the next, I don't know, 10 minutes or so, we can just hang out with the simplicity of, the intention is just to be with what is, and just keep coming back to that. No matter what happens, just keep leaning back into it. So start by closing our eyes and setting the intention Just be mindful, just be present, non-judgmental, open, curious. I have no idea what's going to happen in the next 5, 7, or 10 minutes. Setting the intention to say, let's see what it's like to just be there for whatever appears. I'm pretty sure, just to set some really realistic expectations, I'm pretty sure none of us on this call will necessarily be able to be fully present the entire time. So let's expect with compassion, with a degree of realism, that the mind is going to get distracted. It's going to wander. That's normal. The idea is just to be with that experience as well, just like it is what it is. And when we notice it, then just return back to that original intention with kindness and compassion and just say, oh, right, I'm trying to flex here as this muscle of just being present. Just observing the mind doing its thing, just thinking and worrying and planning and anticipating and remembering, and the list goes on. Right now, we're just going to just watch. It's so simple, yet surprisingly difficult to do because it requires activation of a whole other part of ourselves that for many of us is not active during day-to-day activities. It requires effort, but not too much effort. It requires concentration and focus, but also not too much. So finding the sweet spot between just putting effort into it without being so fixated or white knuckled about it either. Finding how silence and stillness can kind of amplify the parts of us that are restless, and part of the mind that wants to fixate on a problem or solve something. Again, just keep coming back repetitively to this place of just being open, curious. And the more we activate this part of ourselves and the more familiar we become with it, the more it becomes a part of ourselves as we go through life. We bump into difficult situations, challenging people. Yet we have this steadiness and this groundedness just operating in the background where we can just kind of hang with it all, just be with it. Not that hard to do. In my experience, what's hard to do about this is the remembering part, remembering to that we have access to this, especially when we're upset, feeling frazzled or knocked off center somehow. We forget that this is available to us. If we can remember, we can keep practicing what it's like to just connect with this steady, grounded openness. It makes so many things in life easier, in my experience, more interesting, joyful. Before we close, just take a deliberate, intentional moment to notice what it's like to be in the state of openness. What's it like to be open and grounded at the same time? Take note of that. And then go ahead, take a deep breath in. Long, slow exhale through the mouth. Relaxing the shoulders and the hands and the belly. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And a deep inhale through the nose. Slow exhale through the mouth. Letting it all go. And hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, open your eyes. Come on back to the session. And not much to add to that. Hope that sets the tone for the rest of your day. Hope to see you tomorrow, everyone. Take care.